Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Chat with a Chunky Friend. This is your girl Phoenix Alexander, your resident chunky friend. Okay, so we are going to get back into why some of my dime pieces are single. The next thing I want to highlight is aggression. Girl, you so damn aggressive. It's just like you already have that chip on your shoulder energy. You already have that energy like, who gonna try me today? Are you gonna be the one? Huh? Huh? Settle down, girl. Okay? Settle down. Like, a little spunkiness is cute. You know, lets a person know you're not gonna be walked all over or whatever. But when it turns into like you are channeling male energy and you're trying to attract a male, um whoever you get with is going to have to be overly aggressive to compensate for the fact that you are so damn aggressive. So you have to settle down, honey. You got to bring that back a notch. You know, you can take all that aggressive talk when you out with your girlfriends, but just remember like, oh, well, men don't find that sexy. Real adult men don't think that it's cute. They don't think that it's sexy for you to constantly. That's not cute. And nobody wants to lay next to that every day. The next reason why your fine ass is probably single is you are a professional victim. Now, a lot of us, myself included, I used to fall into this category of thinking that if I told these men my sad ass tales, that they'd be like, "Oh, you know what? You deserve better than that. I'm not gonna treat you like that. You deserve to be treated like a queen. The queen you are." No, what actually winds up happening is you sit there, you're like, "Oh, my ex never bought me flowers. He never took me out. He hit on me." You're basically telling this person exactly what they can get away with, how far you're willing to let it go. And then on top of that, you know, one of the biggest, most egregious mistakes that a lot of women make is to say that none of their previous partners ever took them anywhere nice or ever did anything for them. Unless you are a goddamn virgin, don't tell anybody that you used to date people who didn't do shit for you, because you are basically lowering the value of your vagina. Because if everybody else was able to get with you and hit it for years on end and cheat on you and never ever take you out and never buy you flowers and never do anything nice for you, then why on God's green earth would I spend a bag for McDonald's vagina? You have Wendy's vagina. You have, you know, pick 4 off this value menu vagina. And I'm sure you got amazing vagina. But at the end of the day, if you set your value, you set your own value, girl. So if you're a professional victim and you're expecting people to be like, "Oh, well, I don't know why people treat you that way. You seem like such a good woman." Guess what they're going to do? They're going to do the same damn thing or some variation of that, because I'm not going to work hard if I don't have to work hard. Like, it's common sense. And if I can do the bare minimum and you will be impressed and you will be like, "Oh yeah, I am horny after that Popeyes 5-piece." Yes. No, girl, because you're gonna be a Popeyes girl forever. So you definitely want to walk into any situation that includes excuse me, that includes the same way you would do it with your professional life. You don't walk into a new job interview and be like, oh, my last job, they just treated me terrible. They didn't pay me. I was doing slave labor. Because you already know they're going to lowball you. Like, oh, all right, well, you worked for them for 5 years for $14. So just keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Being a professional victim, it will continue to make you be a victim. You know, if you want to tell somebody like, yeah, I was in a rough situation, you know, there was some domestic violence involved or whatever the case might be, you make sure that by the end of you telling that story, they look at you like Jennifer Lopez and enough. Like, oh, she might low-key break out her black belt, beat my ass, whatever. But if you're going to tell a story, don't tell it from the perspective of being the victim and remaining the victim and still feeling victimized. Because when you're telling these stories and you were just crying a river and everything else, it's just like, oh, this is still raw and fresh for her. So let me exploit that. I'm gonna exploit that. And every man's not gonna be this way. And if you're a man watching and you're like, no, that's not me, you're an exception, boo. You a unicorn. They're out there, you know, where it's just like, oh, you meet this man, he get with his woman, and they were together since they were 16, and nobody ever cheated, and they were in love. There's a reason why you make movies about that shit, because it don't happen in real life all the time, okay? There's a reason why we are impressed when we hear that, because your ass is an anomaly. Now, everybody else, they like, yeah, yo, you right. She always been at McDonald's. I'm going to continue to put her at McDonald's. But if I'm going to take her to Carrabba's one time, and she's going to be so impressed with this because she ain't never been nowhere like this before. And that's some sad shit. Unwillingness to change. So a lot of times we watch these romantic movies and stuff like that, social media, and we get into our minds that in a true love situation, you don't have to change. A person should love you the way that you are. That person who loves you the way that you are is called your parent or parents. But your relationship partner, when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to grow. You're supposed to be with somebody that makes you aspire to want to be better, and vice versa. Be willing to make those changes. If a person comes to you and says, hey, babe, I love you, but, you know, the way you talk to me, it has to change. Don't say, well, this is just the way that I talk, and you got to just get with it or get lost. Because you wouldn't do that at your job. If they told you the way that you're communicating is becoming a problem in this office, then you would adjust the way that you communicate. But because it's somebody that you're in a relationship with, you feel as though it's okay to steamroll them or be like, well, this is me. Learn to love it. No, okay? Your man should be striving to improve and make life easier and more exciting and more amazing for you. And you should do the same thing. And your unwillingness to change will keep you single. And you would be surprised what small changes will do for a relationship. Or, you know, even a situation where a person's like, look, I really, really like you, but I just feel like you are unwilling to compromise on certain things. Like, show them that you're willing to compromise. Like, I'm not so obstinate to the fact where, you know, I'm not willing to make these changes. Because if you stay the way you are, then you'll stay the way that you are. So if you are single, then you will stay single. So those are my main reasons for why some of you gorgeous ladies are single. And I'm sure a large majority of you are falling into that category. And with some very minute changes, it will instantly make you way more desirable. And you'll be able to find the type of person that you want to find. You'll stop running into a bunch of duds, and you'll be able to find somebody that you can sure enough partner up with. All right, y'all. I will check y'all for the next one. Bye.